What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Get Real Bass Fishing. It's been a couple days since we uploaded last, and actually it's probably been a week, and we haven't really posted too much in the last month or so, but things are getting back to normal. Holidays are gone. Our engagement, we had that. We were talking to a lot of people, and we just kind of got a little focused on things that need to be focused on, and now we have some videos for you guys, and it's going to help you out. I promised you guys some teaching videos, some gear reviews, because this is the time of year to do it. And today we're going to be talking about freshwater rods and reels. So today is spinning rod and reels. Heavy duty guys down south, we'll have a bait caster video for you coming very shortly. I got a bunch of bait casters up here on my ceiling that I'll talk about, and if you guys want to get involved in bait casters, I highly recommend it. It's a skill set that you want to have as a fisherman because you can use heavier gear, and it's just a beefier stick to work in a bunch of weeds, lily pads, and different presentations are really easy with a bait caster as opposed to the spinning rods. So we'll have a video coming out about those as well, but today I have 4 of my top spinning rod and reels that I use all the time. Some of them are a little bit more expensive and some of them are not as expensive, but they work for their presentation, and we're going to talk about that today. So thank you guys for watching, and thank you for clicking this video. You guys are going to learn something from this video, so let's go. Alright, first off, I want to talk about this Berkley Lightning rod. This is a very inexpensive rod that performs very well. The only time I've ever had an issue with it is when it met my truck window last summer. So I haven't had any other issues with these Berkley Lightning rods other than the fact that I rolled my window up and crushed the tip. But besides that, this is a 7-foot medium action. This is my heavy duty spinnerbait rod. This is matched with a Penn Fierce 2, and I don't know if you can get the Penn Fierce 2s anymore, but the 3s are an upgrade for it. But I believe this is a 4000 series. This is I use this setup besides for my freshwater spinnerbaits. I use it for porgy and sea robins, sea bass off the boat in the Long Island Sound. So this is a really good rod. It handles very well when it comes to cover with the spinnerbaits, whether or not you're going through weeds on the bottom or you're just twitching it through lily pads. Not heavy duty stuff, but if you're just going through sporadic lily pads, you got a patch here, you're throwing in between, that's most likely going to be the strike zone for a spinnerbait bass. And as you guys can tell, this has that big Colorado blade, that big deep blade, so this is going to be a slow roller. I have 20-pound braid on here, and I have it matched with 12-pound to 15-pound monofilament. So I have that for my spinnerbait rod. Again, this rod I believe is like $35, so if you want to get it for $35 as opposed to spending $200 on a rod, go ahead and do this. It's a really good budget rod, works really well, and the Fierces I believe are under $100, maybe even $80 or whatever they are now. But yeah, this is a good for bottom fishing for porgy, sea robin, sea bass, even super fun for smaller fluke, but also really good for freshwater spinnerbaits. Alright, let's move on. Actually, before we move on, I do want to say spinnerbaits aren't the only things you can throw on this 7-foot medium. You can throw lipless crankbaits, you can even try frogs and sporadic lilies too. And yeah, so it's not just a spinnerbait rod, but that's what I mainly use it for because I have other rods. So let's talk about it. Alright, we're going to jump to the other side of this game here. We have a Quantum 6-foot medium light action rod with a Quantum Throttle 2500, 2000. So I'm over here editing the video, and I don't know what got into me, but I do just want to point out that Quantum Throttle 2 is a size 10. It's a very small, tiny reel. The future reels that I'm going to be talking about, those are the correct sizes, but I don't know what got into me or why I couldn't think of that correctly, but the Quantum Throttle is a 10, not a 2500 or a 2000. Those are perfect size bass fishing reels. The 10s are more like trout and finesse fishing for like perch or whatnot, but now that I've cleared that up, let's get back to the video. But it's a small reel, and really you can't really do much as far as moving baits with this tiny reel. It just doesn't take up enough line. But this rod is fantastic. I haven't been able to find this rod specifically anywhere else. I've snapped the tip on it, again, not because of any fault with the rod, but because of something I've done. But it's a medium light action rod. I use this for small spinners or little trout worms. This is my trout setup. Although I have had this on an ultralight, a 4-foot and a 5-foot ultralight, I do have this on here to pull up a little bit bigger fish like largemouth bass and pickerel with smaller and lighter lures. Like I said, it just doesn't pull up enough line to make a square bill work right, or a spinnerbait or one of my big spike spinners work properly. Will be good. This rod is fantastic for those inline spinners. I love inline spinners on this. Lipless crankbaits and 1.5s or 1.0s square bills work really good on a medium light. But yeah, this is really good. As you can tell, you can see where this fits in my hand, halfway up my arm. So it's a good setup. It feels good, and it's really, really good if you catch a big 3-pound bass, even just a 3-pound bass on this. So if you're looking for that, then get that. I believe this is maybe at most $75 reel, and on here I have 10-pound braid, and then depending on if I'm going for trout or pickerel, pike, perch, whatever I'm using this, I might just leave the braid here, or I'll put maybe an 8-pound leader of mono or fluoro on here. But that's a really good rod and reel, inexpensive, gets the job done. And yeah, let's go to the next one. Okay, so this is the best rod I've ever owned. I've owned this rod since 2012. Probably my oldest rod that I've personally owned and purchased by myself as a kid back then. This is everybody's favorite rod. My favorite rod. It's Josh's favorite rod. It's other Josh's favorite rod. It's Jared's favorite rod. And this is Erica's reel, and this is Erica's favorite rod. The action on this rod is so amazing. You can literally throw anything on here and be able to horse it and work it. This is a 6'4" Skeet Reese medium fast action mag spinner spinning rod. It's very difficult to find this rod, but the whole series of the Skeet Reese, Wright and McGill rods are fantastic. Honestly, they're so good. This was $100 when I purchased it. You can honestly find these in Walmart, Bass Pros, Dick's, anywhere. They do have a new design from the 2012s. Same color concept and everything, but you know, they're a little bit upgraded. Honestly, like, I've thrown massive 1/2 ounce or 3/4 ounce spinner baits. I've thrown frogs inside the heaviest and densest lily pads I've ever actually fished, and I've pulled out 5-pounders on frogs in those dense lily pads on this 6'4" medium fast action spinning rod. So if you want to get a rod, this is the one that I highly suggest getting. The Skeet Reese. Again, I'm not sponsored by anybody. I'm sharing you my experience. But yeah, we have my custom-made spike spinners. You can find on smoocherelease.com/shop. And yeah, we have Erica's Penn Pursuit. Is this a 3 or a 2? A 3 2500, and I believe we put 20-pound braid on here just because we also use this for boat fishing for porgy, sea bass, sea robins, little fluke, and all that other stuff. So this is a horse of a rod. 6'4", medium fast action Skeet Reese, Wright and McGill. If you want to get a rod, it's that. I don't think the Penn Pursuit 3s are very expensive, maybe $50. So in all, this is a $150 setup. Of course, the line is probably worth just as much as the reel. So it depends. We have 20-pound braid on here. I wouldn't go any lower than that if you're going to use this as your all-around. Just put a leader on it if you're going to go for smaller and more finesse style fishing. But yeah, this thing literally has horsed in 5-pound largemouth in the thickest of weeds. And I have yet to break it, fingers crossed, because this is my favorite rod. So highly recommend it. And if you're going to go into the fishing season and need one rod, go ahead and get this. And yeah. Let's go to the final one that I have here, number 4. This is also a very good rod and reel. Okay, here we go. The final rod and reel. This, the way I test rods when I'm out in the stores and whatnot is I hold it like this, very, very lightly, and I give it a good tap. That's got a beautiful, beautiful wiggle to it. I don't know how well you can see it on the 16 mil cam, but it wiggles really, really nice. This is a 6.6 medium action lightning rod. Really, really good, and I can't give too much experience with this reel. This is a Shimano Sahara 2500, but that was a light turn. It just keeps going and going and going. This is one of the smoothest inline spinning reels I've ever owned right out of the box. Alright, so I got the Quantum Accurist S3 Performance Series, and it came in broke. I am a Quantum guy. I love Quantum, and I didn't want to go anywhere else other than Quantum because I've been fishing Quantum my entire life, and I love it. But I got it and it broke, so I replaced it with the Shimano Sahara 2500, and I have zero experience taking this reel out. So I will give you an experience video after a couple of trips of taking this reel out. I have 15-pound braid on here. However, it doesn't lay very well. I actually unspooled it twice and tried to lay the line again, but it keeps lipping up there, and I don't know why. Maybe it's just because of the way I was doing it, but I did it two different ways. I don't know. So that's my only downfall with this so far, and I will give you an experience on it. But this is a 6.6 medium action lightning rod. Like I said before with the other lightning rods, they're very good. This I'll be throwing square bills, lipless cranks, inline spinners, Senkos, whatever. It's just going to be a really fun rod just because of, look at that, a medium action. Obviously, I wouldn't throw a frog or a big half ounce, 3/4 ounce spinnerbait, maybe a 1/4 ounce spinnerbait on this. We'll have to see, but it's got such good wiggle, and this isn't like a beef stick to go punch it inside of heavy lilies, but it is a good rod and reel to have. And yeah, these are the 4 rods that I'm going to be taking into the 2021 freshwater fishing season. I can't wait to put this one to use. Like, I've literally been waiting for it, and we've just been so busy I haven't been able to go out. But like I said, guys, I wanted to give you guys a good video, and I told you and I promised you that I'd be giving you some gear reviews, and we're going to be doing some more teaching videos throughout the next couple months up until the point that we're actually fishing for surf fishing again, and we'll teach you out there on the water when there's fish and show you how well these things that we're teaching you actually work. As well as from now until then, we will be doing more videos like this. We're going to be going out and getting on the water and showing you the techniques that we're fishing in cold water. This is one of my best and favorite times to fish freshwater because the big fish are there, and after a while they get pretty hungry. So I'll show you guys how to do that as well. And yeah, we're going to have a fun time. Erica's going to be fishing with us a ton, and we're going to be doing some fun things. So if you're new to the channel, I hope you guys enjoyed. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and share these videos with your friends inside your Facebook groups, Instagram groups, whatever. And hopefully we can teach you guys a little something you guys didn't know, because there's so many secrets that people don't share because they don't want to share them. But we're going to share some good things with you guys and help you guys catch some fish. 2021 is going to be great. Even though it's just a different number, this year is going to be good. I promise you guys that, and we're going to have some fun. So if you enjoyed this and you want to support us, we have Smooch and Release merchandise on smoochandrelease.com/shop. And I've noticed that it hasn't been loading initially, so just reload the page if it doesn't work for you and things will pop up. I've had a few people say that. I don't know what's wrong with it, but anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Stay real, smooch and release, and have some fun on the water. I'll see you next time.